In today's video, we're going to unbox and playtest the new 2025 RG Hardie Bagpipes. Stay tuned.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Matt Willis Bagpiper, and on this channel I make videos to make you a stronger and more confident bagpiper. If you like this kind of content, please think about giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. Now in this big old box here, I have a brand new set of RGH01AB bagpipes, and there are some modern tweaks on there that we'll be going over. These were sent to me by Alistair Dunn at RG Hardie, so thank you so much, Alistair. And let's not waste any more time and get into this enormous box so we can, well, maybe see a little bit more than cardboard. All right, inside the box, we have some lovely bubble wrap and a case. Let's go ahead and get this case out of here. Inside the box itself also contained a lovely RG Hardie towel here with a nice little carabiner to clip it to whatever you need to. All right, and here we go, everybody. First, let's check this outside pocket. And there's nothing in the outside pocket. And here we start. We have some bubble wrap right here. Going to take that off. And we can see everything very nicely, very carefully wrapped. That is awesome. Starting on top, we have a Infinity Poly Chanter right here. And out come the pipes. Look at this. Every piece is wrapped quite nicely and is all completely assembled already. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Put this case down over here and we'll get started. I also want to give a quick shout out to Jeremy Downs at Lone Star Piper, who got me in touch with Alistair about this particular set. So thank you, Jeremy. And if you need any RG Hardie products, Peter Henderson products, don't hesitate to contact Jeremy at Lone Star Piper. All right, we have the first piece right here. We can see it's a flat comb design, which I absolutely adore. It's an older school look, and the mounts are quite nice. This is a new mount design. First time I'm seeing it in person. It's a hybrid between the old mounts that were used previously and the mounts they designed for the Heritage series, which were a little bit more sleek, thinner. This is some mix between the two, and I think it's a very handsome design. The way it kind of swoops from the main part of the pipes into the mount is a lovely, gentle swoop here. There'll be a full photo gallery of this set at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. The hemp fitting feels good. Drone reeds are not in there yet, but yes. So there you can go with the flat combed look right there. So no beading, just the flat combing, plain nickel ferrules, blackwood projecting mounts. Let's continue. And I really like the RG Hardie external profile. It's got this nice flat bottom to the bell end of the pipe here. Very old school looking. I love the scribe lines that are on the bottom. This is just a classic look. A lot of places, including even their Peter Henderson line, has a swoop that goes all the way to the outside of the bell here, which is a beautiful look on its own. But this is a little bit more chonky. It's a little flatter. I think it's a little bit more old school looking. I really like this. We have the blowpipe here. They have, in the last few years, changed their mouthpiece design. It now has a slightly more tapered design here. You'll see on screen now what the previous design had looked like. Just a change, you know, prefer which one you will. I think this is a great look, goes well with the set. Yeah. Good old school flapper on the end that's working well. This is really nice. Thank you, Alistair, for having it as well set up as it is. I'm just going to have to, you know, throw the drone reeds in. Does the chanter have a reed? Let's take a look. Get out of there. There we are. It does. All right. Chat and read's going great. And in taking the bubble wrap off, there was a tag that came off with it. We recommend using blackwood oil once a year and bagpipe metal polish sealant every 6 months to protect your bagpipes. I'd agree with that. And if you want a video on how to oil your bagpipes, check right up there or in the link in the description on my video on how you can go about oiling your pipes. Here we go. This is what I was waiting for. So right on here, they got RG Hardie actually laser etched into the wood on the top section of the bass drone. I think that's a lovely additional bit of detailing there. I really like it. It's subtle. It doesn't stand out from across the universe, but it lets you know what you got right there. It's got one of their new water-resistant pipe bag covers, which is very nice. I remember being parked under a tropical storm at Stone Mountain Highland Games in 2019, and I had a brand new goatskin bag, and I did not have a water-resistant cover on it, and the bag got so drenched it ended up ruining that brand new goatskin bag because it got just so wet. All of the natural oils had leached out of the bag. I could get it tight with seasoning, but it wouldn't stay for long. So if I'd had one of these bag covers, it wouldn't have been a problem. At the top of the bass drum stock, there is a quality control number for the person who turned these pipes. That's a nice additional detail. I guess helps them, honor all their warranties. There's also a actual serial number for the pipes at the bottom of the bass drum stock. That's something that used to only be for the Peter Henderson line. This better lets them now with the Hardie line as well honor their 5-year warranty.
I also teach online bagpipe lessons. Go ahead and head over to www.commandyourbagpipe.com or email me at the address you see here, and we'll get you going. I'm working with folks from all over the planet, and I hope to work with you soon.
Worth noting, the blowpipe is actually internally plastic with a blackwood sleeve and mount on the outside, so you get all of the appearance of the blackwood section of pipe, but you don't have to worry about this cracking. Same thing with the actual stock for the blowpipe. It is lined with plastic, but the outside is blackwood, so again, you don't have to worry about cracking. These are not parts that make sound, they're just delivering air, so this isn't going to affect the performance of the bagpipe in any way, except, well, maybe keeping air inside the bag, because you won't have to worry about this part cracking, nor the stock. Setting up bagpipes is thirsty work, but that's not a problem, because I have the Macallan 200 Anniversary Edition here. This happens to be the Vibrant Oak in collaboration with Cirque du Soleil, 44.2 ABV, natural color, matured in sherry seasoned American oak casks right here. This was a lovely gift from Mr. Quincy, who is the father of Corbin. I had the great fortune of actually teaching both of these individuals, Quincy in the aughts and his son in the late teens and through the 20s. His son just having graduated high school and moving up to the Alaska area to pursue some aviation. He got me this bottle a few weeks ago, and it's been well studied and enjoyed. So thank you, Quincy, for that. Let's see what we have to work with here. It's got a nice golden color here, not too light. So I get a lot of honey, maybe a bit of a nutty kind of aroma on the nose. There's not an age statement on this, so I have found that it actually does well to settle in the glass for a bit. It can be just maybe slightly on the hot side upon initial sipping if you haven't let it rest. So yeah, with that fresh pour, there is a lot of heat right on the arrival, but it settles nicely, if maybe a little quickly. But yes, very honey forward. Maybe there's a touch of almond that I wasn't really getting on the nose that I'm getting on the palate. Let's open this up with a little touch of water and let it rest for just a little bit, and we'll see what's happening then. All right, we're gonna add just a wee splash of water. So yeah, that's already, just in that brief time, tempered some of the alcohol heat that was coming out. Because without an age statement, there could be spirits in here as young as 3 years, which is just going to give you a little bit more punch upon arrival. That smooths out a lot. Oh yeah, but with that water and a little bit of time, there's actually some caramel, burnt sugar notes that they weren't coming through without the water. So never be afraid to add just a little bit of water to your single malt scotch, or give it a little bit of time, or both. They all will change how the whiskey is expressing itself in the glass here. So, and now as it kind of fades away, I'll say the finish is longer than the arrival, which is nice. Again, thank you, Mr. Quincy and your son Corbin, for the opportunity to work with both of you over the years, and I wish you both all the best moving forward. It came with a set of easy drone reeds with an inverted base, an excellent choice for this bagpipe. And to be honest, the rubber on the bottom of the easy drone here actually seems to make a great fit with the bottom of the, at least, tenor so far. I don't feel I need to add hemp to that. Need to adjust the reed to take just a little bit more air. So I'm opening up the bridle, raising it so there's more vibrating tongue on the reed itself so it doesn't shut down quite so quickly. Let's test that outside that I put in first. Yeah, just a little closed down. So again, I'm moving the bridle up so that there is more vibrating tongue to let more air through the reed. Though on these easy drones, it's a very small adjustment. A little too far with that one. I like to make sure I can actually turn it off with the force of my breath. If I can't, it's probably too open. That turned off just a little soon. Check that middle one more time. Maybe just a little too open. We're going to bring it down just a hair. I like that. And then finally, the bass. Now, for testing the bass, when I try to do this by mouth, I'm not going to try to insert all of this reed into my mouth. I'm actually going to play it sideways, putting my mouth around the tongue of the reed, making sure that my lips and tongue do not interfere with that. But that is a good way to be able to test it by mouth without having to tickle your uvula. And again, the bass drone fits in very nicely without any additional hemp. Again, as with the tenors, it's taking just not quite enough air. I think that might work. All right, people, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get the cameras and microphone all set up to give these things a wee blast and see how they're playing, how they're going. So let's take just a moment, get that done. I'll be right back with you. I wanted to take just a moment now to thank all the members of my Patreon community. You'll see their names scrolling up right now. These are folks that contribute monthly to help support the channel. I'd love to add your name to this list. You get a number of perks, so go check it out. And please know, all of you guys, that this channel would not be possible without your Patreon level assistance. There you go, everybody. There's some playing on the RGH-01AB African Blackwood mounted new 2025 edition bagpipes. I think it's a tremendous instrument. I wanted to say and make it clear, I am not being paid for this, and I am not getting to keep this instrument. I just have been a fan of the instruments that this company has made. One of my primary sets of pipes is my 2018 set of Peter Henderson Heritage pipes here. This was the model that had the satin wood mounts right here. And this is the new 2025 edition of the RG Hardie bagpipes. Whether you're getting the RG Hardie pipes or the Peter Henderson pipes, the internal bores are the same on both of these pipes. Let me grab a sheet here and read from Alistair Dunn how the bores of these were set up. We, at RG Hardie, get asked a lot about the sound of Hardie bagpipes. Do they sound like a 1970s set, for example? They have the same internal bores as the Henderson sets, and it's the external appearance that sets them apart. The reason being that we, at Hardie, don't want to compare the two and recommend which is better. We think we have achieved the finest drone sound possible with many world pipe band and Glenfiddich champions playing them today. The geometry and concentricity of the bores determines the quality and vibrancy of our drone sound, again, at RG Hardie. Our range of fine quality bagpipes are based on a 1924 vintage set of Peter Henderson bagpipes with the bass and tenor bottom joints having RG Hardie bores. Our bagpipes produce a rich resonant sound accommodating a wide range of reeds that can be fine-tuned with ease. And in my experience, I'd say that's absolutely true. My basic setup is easy drone tenors and a standard balanced tone bass, not the high resonance, just the standard balanced tone bass. But as you could hear in the sound samples just earlier, they sound fantastic with an easy drone with inverted bass. They work with a regular easy drone bass. Yes, they have accepted a wide range of reeds in my experience. The internal bores of a Henderson versus a Hardie are the same. It's just the external detailing. Like I was saying earlier, you can see the shoulders on that are quite straight versus this one where you can see they're far more rounded. It's subtle, yes, and again, there'll be more photos at the end for you to check all of this out. But it's the external stylings that really make these different, so you're not going to go wrong either direction. As I've said before in many other videos, this is a great time to be a bagpiper. There are fantastic bagpipes being made by any number of makers out there. But I did want to take the chance today to feature these 2025 RG Hardie pipes right here and talk about some of the things that differentiate them from some of the previous sets. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you got something out of this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you're interested in getting some bagpipe-themed merchandise, I do have a merch store where you can get hats or t-shirts or mugs, all sorts of stuff, including my Highland bagpipe ornament tree. This is a graphic, a poster, or a framed canvas that has all major Highland embellishments written out with their proper timing, which can help any number of players at any level, and it's a rather handsome graphic. So anyways, go check it out and let the world know that you command your bagpipe. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for that photo gallery. But until next time, I'm Matt Willis. Cheers.